In this video, I just want to mention a few things to look out for when working with analog tape. Potential issues and problems that anyone who might find themselves working with tape should be aware of. So, in no particular order, here are a few caveats about tape. I've already mentioned the ever-present background noise present in all tape recordings. Tape hiss is not a big deal, but it is always there and should serve as a reminder to record at the hottest clean level possible. Generation loss is a potentially significant issue. Digital recordings, of course, can be copied over and over with no loss of quality. Each copy is identical to the original. This is not the case with tape. Every time a tape recording is copied or bounced, there's a slight loss of quality, high frequency loss, and a buildup of noise and distortion. This was a noticeable issue when using sound-on-sound techniques, which I described in an earlier video. The first tracks to be recorded were submixed and bounced, often several times, leading to clearly audible loss of highs and noise buildup, and the engineers of the day often anticipated this by adding a little extra high-end boost before the first bounce to help maintain brightness without bringing up the hiss by adding treble boost later. A classic technical issue with tape is wow and flutter. Wow and flutter refers to subtle variations of pitch and amplitude. Wow is slower pitch variations caused by motors that couldn't hold their speed consistently. Flutter is amplitude variations, small random speed bumps caused by the tape sticking. Professional open-reel recorders keep these problems to an inaudible minimum, but recordings made with semi-pro machines might have a little of it, and cassette recordings are highly prone to these artifacts. To address recordings that suffer from wow and flutter when restoring old tapes, some audio repair suites provide modules that can be used to try to correct for it. I already mentioned this once, but it bears repeating. Keep any tape recordings away from magnetic fields, which can damage or partially erase the recorded information. Don't use a demagnetizer closer than 3 or 4 feet away from the nearest recorded tapes, and don't place recorded tapes near devices that may emanate magnetic fields, like power amps or speaker magnets. Tape handling carries some risks. Tape is prone to stretching or breaking, especially during fast-forward or rewind operations. While newer machines may break gradually when exiting a fast-wind mode, many older tape machines were likely to break hard, potentially stretching or snapping the tape. Standard advice to avoid this is to never go from fast-forward or rewind mode directly to stop or play. Instead, slow the tape down first by hitting the opposite fast-wind mode. So, for example, when rewinding, hit fast-forward to slow the tape down, and only when it's slowed down enough to be almost stationary, then hit stop. A potential issue involves the use of the outermost edge tracks on a multitrack, which can more readily suffer from dropouts and damage in winding and storage. Often, engineers would avoid using those tracks for prominent parts to minimize any audibility from potential losses. Finally, another possible issue is bleed, or print-through, that can occur during tape storage. I'll explain in the next video, which touches on storage considerations.